Good morning and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Meteorologist Mike Favetta is live in Florida at the beautiful Wyndham Lake Buena Vista right near Disney Springs. And Mike is at the pool, of course, to rub salt in our wounds up here.
Seriously.
Well, it's a lovely 72-degree morning going to a high of 86. Checked the phone this morning, Cara and Lisa Marie, and it said, oh, it's going to be 42. Oh, no. Oh, wait, that's up in New Jersey. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, really. That's just unfair.
Well, hey, we'll have to set something up. You got to head down because being in tropical paradise when there's snow in the forecast up in New Jersey. Sorry, just had to twist that knife a little bit
come
more.
on. I'm already dead.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. But we're making it feel like Jersey here because Jay, our general manager, we'll talk to him in our next weather segment, made me a bacon or Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel just to make me feel at home like I'm in
But was it as good as it is up here? Because the answer is no.
I mean, it was great with the extra sunshine.
You know what? Just do the weather, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, we're done with you.
I'm done with you.
That's it.
We'll get to
We're
the
not
weather. I
talking the rest
apologize
of
if
the
it's a
show.
little breezy this morning. But we're here out at the Wyndham Gardens over at Lake Buena Vista. We've got a beautiful view of the real Lake Buena Vista right here in the heart of Disney, right in next to downtown and Disney Springs. And we've got some awesome weather on the way, even in New Jersey. We'll get to that part of the forecast in just a bit because the forecast in New Jersey is looking a bit cold, especially as we head into the start of our weekend. We'll start off with today's weather, shall we? Our weather looking rather chilly this morning with temperatures starting off in the 40s, climbing to a high of 52. Mostly sunny skies through this afternoon, but there are some changes on the way. You may have heard there is some snow coming by the beginning of the weekend, and that will arrive with some rain at first, then transition to a little bit of wet snow by the end of tomorrow evening, and then we're right back to a little bit of cloud cover, but cooler weather for Sunday. It does get chilly again. Our forecast overall, it's going to be a nice sunny day today here in the Garden State and here in my location in New Jersey. But if you're looking for places like in Howell and Lacey Township, holding in the mid-50s, mix of sun and clouds through this afternoon. A nice quiet day before things start to get messy by tomorrow. We've got more weather on the way. We'll let you know what's coming up and some weather headlines in just a bit, as well as the next few days. All those details coming up in just a few minutes.
So jealous.
I know.
It's not even fair. All right, let's get you right to, obviously, the thing that just everybody's been talking about for the last 2 weeks. Both the federal government and the state of New Jersey made moves to hurt Vladimir Putin's wallet yesterday. The U.S. banned any import of Russian gas or oil, while New Jersey is prohibiting doing business with any company with ties to Russia or Belarus. And these past few weeks have been very difficult in Eastern Europe and across the globe with the devastating attacks on Ukraine. Here to talk about what's going on and how you can support efforts is Ihor Rakowski. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on this morning.
So can you just tell us a little bit about your background in regard to Ukraine and what makes you an expert on the topic?
Sure. Well, I'm an expert as much as anyone else these days, although I've been very active in the Ukrainian American community ever since I was a little boy. I'm the firstborn of 3 sons of Ukrainian post-World War II immigrants who came to the United States as refugees, settled into New York, where I was born. I grew up in Brooklyn and the Bronx, attended Ukrainian church, Ukrainian Saturday schools. And I've always told my friends who are of non-Ukrainian descent that I've lived in 2 parallel wonderful universes, both as a proud American and as a proud person of Ukrainian descent. And because of my connections with the Ukrainian American community, I've been actively involved in various organizations, and I'm certainly very much on top of what's happening in Ukraine these days. What we're witnessing today is a tragedy of epic proportions. And unfortunately, while Ukraine is fighting for its existential existence, I think the potential fight here goes way beyond just Ukraine's survival. I think what's happening right now is an attempt by a madman in Moscow who wants to reconstitute his vision of the glory of the Russian Empire by pulling together all of the former constituent republics of the Soviet Union, another form of the Russian Empire, including Ukraine at the top of the list. And he's stopping at really at no boundaries at this point. And while the sanctions are very helpful, and they're certainly going to have their economic impact, already are, on Russia. And the intent is, of course, to get the Russian people themselves to do something with this madman and get him to stop the war and this insanity. I'm afraid that there's still a long slog ahead, and the outcome is clearly uncertain.
So you mentioned that you talked to friends and family in the Ukraine. Can you specifically talk about the plight that they're going through right now?
What you're seeing on television unfolding, the horror show on a daily basis, regardless of whatever channel you choose to watch or whatever wherever you choose to go, what site on the internet, what you're seeing is actually what's happening on the ground. Literally millions of people, overwhelmingly women and young children and old people, are making their way out of the country. The men are staying behind, partly because the government has prohibited men from between the ages of 18 and 60 from leaving the country. They have to stay behind to fight. But the overwhelming majority of the men do want to stay and fight and to defend their homeland. And on a daily basis, we're hearing directly through our own ears by speaking with people from there, or from people who already made their way across the border into Poland, or in our case in Slovakia. Because my wife is a Ukrainian from Slovakia, so we still have friends and family there who keep us advised of what's happening. We see this horror show unfolding, and it's not going to end anytime soon. 2 weeks ago, everyone who's crossing the border right now is a refugee. If they were a young family, they were preparing their children for school. Older people were living out their pension years, never expecting that they're going to be bombarded almost to the Middle Ages. I think that's what Putin's intention really is. That's why he's bombarding civilian sites right now. He just wants to completely subjugate the Ukrainian people, just wear them out, so that the government collapses ultimately, and Putin puts in his own puppet regime. But what you're seeing unfolding right now is, in fact, the reality. People leave with only the documents that they can pull together quickly, with handbags, small pieces of luggage, leaving everything behind. Their homes, their jobs, the remainder of their families who haven't been able to leave for whatever reason, and crossing borders into unknown countries, not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring, not knowing what today is going to bring, where they're going to wind up. And it's just been very gratifying, by the way, to see the tremendous positive response from the countries that have been taking in the refugees, first and foremost, Poland. I can't emphasize enough how Ukrainians, both in the diaspora and also within Ukraine, are immensely grateful to the Polish people who've taken in a majority of the refugees so far, over 1 million, 1.2 million by last count, although the number seems to be increasing exponentially on a daily basis, literally taking people into their own homes. You see poignant scenes of Polish mothers leaving the strollers and baby carriages at the train stations where the trains are pulling up with refugees to give mothers with young children the ability to put their children somewhere once they get off the train. People leaving diapers. There are food stations set up. SIM cards are being handed out to people so people can keep in touch with their relatives back home, etc. So it's been incredibly gratifying, the positive humanitarian response from the Poles, and also from the Slovaks, the Hungarians, the Romanians, who are the other countries that have been taking in the vast majority of
Mr.
the
Rakowski,
refugees.
and just since you're talking about the response, I wanted to ask you more here. What have you seen with the Ukrainian American community and their response?
Well, again, it's been overwhelming to this end. Excuse me. That was the point, the final point that I wanted to make in response to your prior question. In New Jersey, I'm in Florida right now, by the way. That's where I live permanently.
Yeah, that's their theme of today's show. So.
Okay, got it. There are many organizations, and I can provide you with the names of tried and true organizations that take every dollar that comes in by way of a donation from people. And again, people in the United States have been overwhelmingly positive in their response. They want to help. They call churches, they call organizations, Ukrainian American organizations, asking what we can do. The best thing you can do is to donate money, first and foremost for humanitarian relief. And there are various organizations that take in the money constantly. They know how to get the money to the right place. The best thing that can happen is that the money is used to purchase food, medicines, clothing, provide for housing in Europe already. Okay, that's the best thing that can happen. I know that a lot of people have been donating goods here with the intention of having them shipped over. And that's extremely helpful as well. The problem that some organizations are running into who are taking in donated goods is really the lack of containers and the cost of shipping anything overseas right now. And there's also a time component here because it takes 7 to 10 days at the earliest for containers to make their way from the United States to Europe and get to the right place in Eastern Europe. So the best thing that people can do is to donate money. And there are various organizations such as the Ukrainian National Women's League of America, unwla.org. You can go on their site and make a contribution that way. The Ukrainian Congress Committee of America, ucca.org. The Ukrainian American Relief Committee, uuarc.org. Razom for Ukraine. Razom means together. It's RAZOM for Ukraine.org, as well as the Catholic Relief Services, among other organizations, and that's crs.org if you feel comfortable donating through the church. There's really no shortage of places where you can donate. If you go online and simply type in Ukrainian relief efforts, in addition to the ones that I've given you just now, you will find a slew of others. And it's overwhelming almost to see, again, how many people, how many organizations, how many companies, private companies want to help. So we encourage everyone to do that. Just to reiterate a point that I tried to make earlier, this is not only a battle for Ukraine's existence. This is really a battle for democracy. This is a battle for freedom. And I think if anyone can appreciate freedom and democracy, it's we Americans. We are descendants of people, all of us, who came here from one reason or for one reason or another to find a better life. And that life is really the end result of our ability to exercise our freedoms, unfettered by fear and untainted by bombing.
Absolutely. Ihor Rakowski, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And again, guys, we will we'll get those charities, sir, that you mentioned specifically, ones that you kind of have vetted out. We'll put them up on our social media so folks know where they can donate their money so that it does the most good for the people on the ground in Ukraine. And again, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So students across New Jersey are back in school without masks and adjusting to a new normal yet again. Many schools are making masks optional, leaving it up to parents if they want their child to continue wearing them. These changes can cause a lot of stress, believe it or not, for kids. Joining us now is Ron Schulzian, Executive Director of Newark Trust for Education. Ron, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Ron, kids have lived through a pandemic and now they're seeing images of war on television. How do you help kids process all of this and manage their anxiety?
It certainly has been an extraordinary time at this point. And, you know, we had many of the issues associated with race and all of those things that were going on. We have the pandemic and now the war. I think for kids, it really becomes a matter of figuring out who I am and how I interact with this world. And so we kind of think of three big things, right, for kids. One is creating a sense of agency. What do they have control over? Two would be really a sense of belonging, that family unit being a critical unit and the community being a secondary unit. And then this notion of sense of purpose, what can I do? And I think if we think of that as a frame for really creating conditions that are supportive of our young people at this point in time, I think that we could move forward in really helping them enter a phase of new normalcy and take on the challenges that are being presented.
So, Ron, you know, kids sometimes have a difficult time with smaller things. Some of them, if they're really young, they've only ever known wearing a mask at school or indoors. Some of them now, if their parents want them to, they may be the only child in their class still wearing a mask. How do you help a child understand and work through things like this where they maybe kind of stand out or something is so radically new for them?
Right. And I think that one, just pointing out that is a normal condition, right? We live in a world of diversity. We live in communities of diversity. And so that's, I think, one piece, just helping children understand, especially the young people, that there are differences, that we should be respecting those differences. And we really should be working to understand those differences. And what that does is it creates a way of entering conversations with young people. And sometimes we think it's strange to think about a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old to really be in a discussion with them. But it is amazing when you sit down and really just ask questions open up yourself to hearing what young kids are talking about and thinking about. It helps you to guide a discussion and helps them to move into a place of understanding. It is a difficult situation. It is a difficult situation because our kids oftentimes model what they see in the adult community. And I think as adults, we're still working through some of these differences. It is an area of very, very intense emotion. It's an area of very, very intense positioning. And so one of the things we need to think about is how we as adults, one, are processing all of this information, two, how we are engaging with other adults, especially in the context where children are present, and then thirdly, how we help kids actually voice what they're thinking and what they're feeling in real time, so that we could actually address those things in real time and they don't become these kind of latent issues that just sit under the surface.
When we think about mental health, people often don't think about children, believe it or not. How can parents and teachers help kids who may be struggling?
Sure. I think the first thing is really just being aware and looking at signs. So really looking for changes in behavior. Oftentimes we think about, kids becoming introverted, maybe a sign of them going through something, but it really is changes. Thinking about who is this young child? How do they normally interact with these conditions, and are they interacting differently? So I think that that's one piece. I think the second piece, as I said before, is really helping the young child understand his or her sense of agency. What can I do, right? I have control over certain things in my life. I can make this decision to put the mask on, not put the mask on. I can make a decision about how close I want to be to somebody else, or how far I need to be from them. So there's this helping them understand their sense of agency and what decisions they make. And I cannot I can't emphasize enough how much importance it is for a sense of belonging. We've gone through almost 24 months where the messaging has been isolation, isolation, isolation. And so as we move into this next phase, really thinking about how do we promote a sense of belonging? How do we help young people actually get back out there, start to interact with these notions of safety embedded in how they're doing that, right? That is our new normal. As adults, we all think about it, right? Does the person we're talking to have a mask on, not have a mask on? How close am I to them? Is the ventilation open? Are the windows open? Are the doors open? Am I outside? Am I inside? But again, having these really explicit conversations with the kids, helping them understand those variables so that they can actually start to engage in family gatherings in a safe way for them. They could start to engage in community gatherings in a safe way for them. And then thirdly, something that I don't think we often think about is giving kids a sense of purpose, right? What can we as a family, what can we as a community group be working on that will help us move through this transition, right? What are some kinds of projects that we could be doing so that we are actually addressing this challenge in a proactive way, rather than thinking about everything is happening to me? What can we be contributing, and how could we work collaboratively to start to address some of these issues?
Ron, that was actually such a great, great segue kind of into my next question, which is, as adults, as parents, as aunts, uncles, teachers, what have you, how does our behavior and what we do, and you touched on this briefly earlier, how does our behavior affect the children, and what should we be doing in our own adult interactions, when we know that they're watching?
Right. I'll start where I always start with kids and families and adults. We really have to show them the love that we have for them, right? We have to make time for them. We need to listen to them. We need to put them, hold them. All of those pieces are so important. And with us as adults feeling stress, with us ourselves potentially feeling anxiety, sometimes that's hard to do, really make the space to show that love of your child. But I do think that that's an important thing. I think the second thing, and I know this is tremendously difficult, and I don't feel that I live in a world with rose-colored glasses on. But I do think the notion that we live in a diverse world, a diverse community, where people have very strong opinions on different things is a reality. And so I think, going back to what I said before, really helping kids to get to that place, but modeling that as an adult, right? It is okay for us to think differently. It is okay for us to debate. It is okay for us to bring to the forefront why we think what we think, even if that means I just emotionally think that this is right. Right. But I think having the language to have those conversations and modeling that language so that kids themselves can start to think about how they interact with others who don't necessarily have the kind of or the same beliefs that they have is an important learning opportunity.
So finally, besides giving them a lot of love, what specific tools can we give our children to deal with their stress, uncertainty, and fear?
Right. So one is talking, obviously, really getting them to a place where they understand their emotional feeling, their social feelings and their emotional feelings, and having spaces for them to talk to each other, and to adults. That's one. I think the second thing is really creating spaces where they can engage in physical activity that's outside and safe, so that they're exercising, providing the right food so that they actually, they have the nutrition and the exercise and the sleep necessary to engage with the day-to-day actions. And I think the third piece really is this notion of helping them, if they need additional help, connect to support services. And that could be a peer group, a group of friends, 4 to 5 friends with whom they can interact on a regular basis. That could be a counselor in a school or an adult in a school with whom that child has a good relationship and can talk to. And in some cases, it does mean accessing a mental health professional if the child is really moving in the space of deep anxiety or questioning kind of where they are, how they're feeling, taking the opportunity to meet with a professional. I think those are kind of 3 specific things that we could do as adults to help our kids at different phases of their processing these feelings.
Thank you so much, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, I loved really everything that he was talking about, and I think that's just so much a greater part of like emotional awareness that we need to start bringing to our children, so that they can, kind of handle the world a little bit, so we can handle the world a little better. When something we all
what a
need
heavy 2 segments we just had.
We do. Well, you know what? We're going to have some fun coming up next, because we are talking about the Queen of the World pageant happening in New Jersey this weekend.
And you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated on who is going to be on the show and so much more. Be sure to check us out and click follow.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Watch OSDIA interviews live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch OSDIA interviews live on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News 12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's check in with meteorologist Mike Favetta live at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista right near Disney Springs. Good morning, Mike. I'm not happy
Good
that you're
morning
down
to
there.
you both. We've got a really nice day here, trying to make it feel like home in New Jersey. Maybe not the temperature, but the atmosphere. Lisa Marie, how about you? We got quite a nice pool behind us here, the splash pad. I think Eliana or Liliana might be a little jealous of all the kids having fun down here. We're gonna keep it moving with all of the sunshine that's on the way for today in New Jersey. We have plenty of rain and snow on the way for tomorrow, but something to make you feel warm, something to make you feel nice. I've got a guest here. Jay is the general manager of the Wyndham here in Disney Springs. Come on in, Jay.
Hey,
and Jay is a Jersey guy. Grew up in Pine Beach, New Jersey. So Jay's trying to make it feel like home here in New Jersey, trying to make it feel warm and nice. And he's got some special things for us.
I got on the reservation when Mike put it in. He had to have a special meal, so I spent all morning making this meal.
You got to see this. It's really something. Check this out.
He made me a Taylor. Make sure he had Taylor ham and pork roll when he came to the dining room this morning.
Isn't that nice? On an everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
It's so Jersey. It makes you feel at home.
Well, anything we can do. We love our Jersey visitors, so I'm not sure we'll do it for everyone, but they can stop by my office, and I might have a little tucked away in the fridge upstairs.
I heard a guy yesterday at the pool bar. He was talking about being on traffic on 287 and driving by 8 to 10 in Edison, and I'm like, yeah, you feel like you're home down here. It's like a second home.
Roads are getting just like Jersey.
Jersey. Well, thank you.
I also have another special thing.
Oh, what's this?
Just like Walt Disney World, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary here at the hotel. So we have come up with a 50th anniversary challenge coin here with our official Disney Springs logo on the back. And it just talks about the history of the hotel. And it has a little note on the side that mentions that we're the closest hotel to Disney Springs. And Lisa, Kara, I got one for you both. So make sure he brings them to you, because I have a feeling he might start selling them on eBay.
I'll make sure they get them. I'll make sure to take care of that. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. What do you say, girl? You got this really cool.
Thank you. We wish we were in person so you can give them to us then, but
it's
okay.
Yeah. Next time. We'll make it
Next
happen.
time
We'll make
Mike
it
takes a
happen.
trip to Florida, he needs to invite us all.
We'll invite. Well, we got to work on this. Well, we're growing here at the NJ Morning Show. So bigger and better things to come, including weather. And we're going to show you how to make some Mickey waffles too. More on that in just a bit.
And next time we do everybody live here.
Everybody live. Yeah, see? You heard it from the big guy.
We're down. We're down. All right, guys.
so fun.
I can't. I'm just really very jealous is what this comes down to, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're talking about Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, which is so exciting. So Bruce Springsteen was back in his hometown this week to unveil a new exhibition space in Freehold. The exhibition, located at the Freehold Fire Department building on Main Street, would be in partnership with the Bruce Springsteen Archives and Center for American Music at Monmouth University. It's expected to open in 2024 and will include artifacts and photographs, as well as film, concert footage, and interviews from the Jersey rock legend's life and career. He is on my bucket list to interview one day.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? He's so really modest about the whole thing, too, because, you know, he was out there signing and taking photos, and he's like, I can't imagine that anybody would be that interested in anything that I had to say or do. You know, he was talking about, you know, being down the street writing songs, and he's like, yeah, all these people, they're so fascinated.
I mean, have you seen him in concert?
No, I have not.
So Joe, my husband, he's a huge fan. So I have never either, but we went to see him on Broadway in 2018. We were like 5 rows up from the stage. It was like being in his living room.
Yeah.
An awesome experience. I met him after the show because I'm like, I'm meeting this guy. So we went by the stage door and I got his autograph. Nice. I haven't done that in years, asked someone for their autograph. And I talked to him. I'm like, you know, this is the first time I'm seeing you in concert. And he's like, here? Really? Because I think that shows like for mega fans. So I explained to him and I'm like, yeah, and it really is pathetic because I'm from New Jersey.
Right.
So we shared a moment, but I would love, more so for my husband so he can come with me, to somehow really meet him.
All right, we'll have to see. So Bruce, if you're watching, contact us. We want you on the show.
We'll come to you. We'll come to your horse
We will
farm.
make it happen.
Yes.
All right, guys, coming up next, we're talking sports with Anthony Paradiso from JerseySportingNews.com.
And you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated on who is going to be on the show. Be sure to check us out and click follow.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
hips.
Oh boy, they weren't kidding.
You're looking for a gold crown.
Sure. So you say you're helping people through. How are you doing that?
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I don't think there is anyone in New Jersey who doesn't absolutely love traveling to Florida, present company included.
Absolutely.
And our meteorologist, Mike Favetta, is live in Florida at the beautiful Wyndham Lake Buena Vista this morning. Before we talk to him, let's check out what makes Wyndham Lake Buena Vista a very special place to stay.
I think what makes it special is when you look at the proximity to Walt Disney World, being across the street from Disney Springs, it just gives our customers the opportunity to enjoy really the fifth park. Here at the Wyndham, in the Wyndham Garden, it's value and proximity. It's location and the value you get for staying at our resort. We're an official Walt Disney World resort. We're on 14 acres of land. It's just a very tranquil place to spend the afternoon after you spend maybe the morning at the park. Come back, spend the afternoon, have lunch, and then head back out to the park to enjoy your evening. The main tower was built in 1971. It was actually the third hotel ever built in Walt Disney World, and it was built as a single complex. Well, we just finished off a $14 million renovation here at the hotel. We redid our entire guest room product at the Garden, 400 rooms, and we renovated this restaurant, which used to be more of a walk-up concession. Had about 56 seats. Now we have about 114 seats, and we feel that this is a great location just to enjoy the afternoon or early evening for dinner. We actually divided it and co-branded the hotel with working with Wyndham Hotel, Walt Disney World, and came up with a two branded concept. The tower is more the luxury branding of the resort. Our Wyndham Garden is our value resorts. It competes with the Disney Pop Century. We have the price points that give the customers just a bigger bang for their bucks. We find that a customer has just a little bit more disposable income when they stay here. Walt Disney World offers 3 golf courses. And one of the things in conversation with the director of golf over there was us designing the resort with that in mind, to let them know that you're just kind of isolated here within the resort, to have your own little private place to enjoy golf and enjoy time with a bunch of golf buddies. We pride ourselves on presenting the best product in both locations, because at the end of the day, I'm the general manager of the complex. I'm not the general manager of one or the other.
All right, so after all of that, let's check in meteorologist Mike Favetta, who is live at Wyndham Lake Buena Vista. Mike,
yes,
that looks so beautiful. We're really very jealous, is really what it comes down to. Lisa and I are both
It is a beautiful place, and
we're in a little bit of a huff, I'm going to be honest with you.
We're going to make it happen. Last year was a little dicey with the pandemic, but now that things are opening up, and Jake, you made a really good point. Things are opening here. I mean, COVID, in Florida.
Absolutely.
It's you don't see a mask. Everything is back at capacity.
Disney's 100% no mask, and actually going to see Billy Joel tomorrow night with about 60,000 people at our downtown arena.
There you go. So even a little music for you here, if that's kind of your style. We have to get to New Jersey weather, because I know there's some snow on the way for tomorrow, but it does come with a little bit of rain, and that's some good news. So primarily focus on the rain for tomorrow morning. That's what we're looking at, with a little bit of snow changeover by the midday. Could there be an accumulation? Minor. And it's one of those nuisance snowfalls going into tomorrow evening. But it's the big temperature plunge where we see temperatures go down back below the freezing mark into Sunday. And then I think we have a little bit of a warm-up ahead, because going forward, there's above average temperatures. Take a look at this next graphic, and you can see how much red is on the screen. the eastern half of the country, especially right over New Jersey, there's a very high chance of above normal temperatures for the middle to the end of March. And that's some good news, figuring we'll likely see a little bit more melting. We'll see some more of those flowers blooming just in time for spring's arrival. And then as we head into the next few days, you'll see that on the 3-day forecast, temperatures start to go down by the end of the weekend. For Sunday, there's the arrow that John, our amazing weather intern, put together. And notice that by the time we get to Monday, we're back in the 50s. So very pleasant weather starting Monday. Just have to make it through a rough weekend, and then I think we'll be looking great beyond that. So winds or breezes are picking up here in Florida. I got a nice start to our day here in Orlando. We're going to talk to you about some options of what else you can do, but also you got to stay well fed here on vacation. I've been eating well over the last few days here on vacation. And Lisa Marie and Cara, there are these Mickey waffles that you can get at breakfast. If, you know, the Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel isn't Jersey enough for you, got to Disney it up. Look at the Mickey waffles here that they make right at the hotel. So some really, really fun stuff. And then just stroll on over to your destination, to your park today. So we've got a lot of fun plans ahead. Hope you have a nice weekend ahead. And we'll join you with the 7-day forecast, Lisa Marie and Cara, in just a few minutes.
2023, we need to be there. First of all, Liana will know Mickey at that point, somewhat, and would have a blast, and we'll do a live show from there. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
Let's put something on the calendar right now after the show.
And because we all know how much this show loves to eat, I expect both the Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on the everything bagel and the Mickey waffle, because there's no bar here.
But it's the pork roll debate versus the Taylor ham debate.
Yeah, I was going to say, did they refer to it as Taylor ham down there? Probably not.
Well, Jay's from South Jersey, so.
Yeah.
Even so, no Taylor ham in South Jersey. Yeah. All right.
But
Thanks, Mike.
We can hear.
I love it. So we're about halfway through Women's History Month, but it is never too late to honor and support women. Former Mrs. World 2018, Alice Lee Gianetta, has set out to redefine beauty pageants. Alice is here to tell us all about Beauty Redefined and her upcoming Queen of the World pageant. Alice, welcome to the show.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
So I know that you have a very busy weekend, so thank you for taking the time to spend a couple minutes with us. Tell us about Beauty Redefined.
Yes, thank you. Yes, being busy is an understatement. Actually, since Monday this week, 30 contestants from all over the United States and over the world have been right here in New Jersey at the Hyatt Regency in Morristown to compete for the Queen of the World pageant. In about 30 minutes, we will be hosting our preliminary competition. And tomorrow, Saturday, 5:30 to 8 at the Dragonetti Theater at the County College of Morris is our grand finale, where 4 queens will be crowned. Beauty Redefined is Queen of the World pageant's motto. And that means that we are here to revolutionize beauty pageants. Our pageant has 4 divisions. We have 2 divisions for unmarried ladies and 2 divisions for married ladies. We do not have any age requirement other than you have to be at least 18 and up. And our current reigning queen is actually 57 years old, and she's a grandmother of 3. Yes, and that's what we believe. Modern day women, we are beautiful, we're diverse, and to age is actually a privilege. So we don't want to let age or marital status define any woman or deny her the ability to be empowered or to be a beauty queen.
I absolutely love that. And I think it's so important. And, even without dating us too much, I think I look at women like, a Shakira or J-Lo, and they are beautiful in their 40s, in their 50s. And, I think that is something that women need to see more of. So props to you for kind of putting this out there and giving that to women and young girls to say, hey, you're gorgeous at any age and at any state in life.
Yes, absolutely. I think traditionally we grew up with beauty pageants where there are very strict rules, and but at a certain age in mid-20s, a woman was deemed ineligible to compete anymore, or if a woman gets married, or if she has a child. And I think in modern day, this is what Beauty Redefined is about. Our queen are diverse. They're from different races, different ethnicities, different religious backgrounds. We do not discriminate any woman or deny any woman the ability to participate based on their background. And we want this to really be a women empowerment program. This whole week, our contestants had many, many trainings. They had training in interview skills, walking skills, having a positive mindset when competing. And this is all education that is going to enrich the woman herself beyond pageantry. She can apply these skills that she's learned at Queen of the World Pageant Week to further her own career, her communication with her family and her friends. So the value of competing in Queen of the World far exceeds the crown, even though the crown is obviously something that we're also excited to find out who are the 4 ladies who will be crowned tomorrow night. And because we are in New Jersey, what is more fitting than having Jersey boys perform on the Queen of the World pageant stage? We have the cast members from the Broadway musical Jersey Boys. They will be performing a medley, the best 4 seasons hits at the Queen of the World pageant finale tomorrow night at the County College of Morris.
So much fun. Where can viewers find out more about you and to get tickets for this weekend?
Yes, please visit us on our website, queenoftheworldpageant.com. You can purchase tickets on our website. And if you are unable to join us in person tomorrow, then we are also live streaming. You can also live stream on our website. We make it really user-friendly and easy. It's $25 pay-per-view, queenoftheworldpageant.com, and our live stream begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Alice, thank you so much. Best of luck to you and the ladies performing and competing this weekend.
Thank you so much, ladies. And you know what? Next year, I see we have spots for both of you.
Oh boy.
Join us.
I don't know about all that either, but
I'm more like Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock, like just total klutz on stage.
Every woman wears a crown. We all wear an invisible crown. We're all beautiful. We're all unique. We're all worthy, and we're all queens. And both of you are perfect examples of beauty, brains, personality. So we would be honored. We always have a spot for both of you.
Thank you, Alice.
We'll definitely come check it out, Alice. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great weekend. And again, good luck to all the ladies in the competition this weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can you imagine if there was like a cooking section and like I had to cook live?
I was just going to say, if there was a cooking section,
no,
I'd
you
be
would
all right.
win. You would get the crown, but me, I would totally
The
fill
walking, on the other hand, I'm definitely fall on my face.
Yeah. That would be hysterical, though. Just like...
We should do it just to tape it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Reality show. So speaking of klutzes, I love baseball. Can't play it, though. But guess who is playing baseball? Major League Baseball players.
Imagine
We're
that.
back. Yes, yesterday, the MLB Owners and the Players Association finally struck a deal to play ball. Joining us now to tell us all we need to know is Anthony Paradiso from Jersey Sporting News. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing well. So tell us about the details of this new deal.
Yes, well, we're having a full season. It's going to be 162 games, just like a normal season. The start of the season has been pushed back a week from when it was originally scheduled, so it's going to start on April 7th. Spring training, the players are already going down there. First games are going to be St. Patrick's Day, around that time, 17th and 18th of March. So it's full speed ahead.
Love it. I think the most interesting part of the deal, you know, besides the money thing that we're not privy to, so, I mean, not too interesting to us, millions upon millions of dollars being discussed and hashed out. But I think for fans, the most interesting part is that both sides agreed to a 12-team postseason. What does that mean? Yeah,
well, that's definitely revolutionary. And, it basically means that we're going to have an extra wild card game. So it's just going to be like, teams with their records, who normally would be out of the playoffs are going to have a shot to make it in and play in the divisional round, basically. So, I hate to say this, but Mets fans, you got a real shot this year, honestly. And where, like we're normally like what they did last year, winning in mid 80s or something like that would not put them in at all. This year they have a shot. So that's with the expanded postseason. And also, speaking of the National League, a universal designated hitter has been adopted this year. So Jacob deGrom will not have to hit this year, Mets fans.
I know there's a lot of debate because there's purists of the game that don't really agree with that. I do personally. I think it just makes it more interesting. Most pitchers were terrible at the plate, so I just think this makes it a little more fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and they, again, pitchers like deGrom and this the top pitchers in the game. Normally they'd have to go up there and they'd risk injury, right? And deGrom got injured last year. I don't know if it was at the plate, but he got injured near the beginning of the year, and that really tanked the Mets season. So now they don't have to go up there, which is, I think, a good thing.
All right, so Anthony, excuse me, now that baseball is back, so is free agency. What moves are the locals poised to do?
Yeah, well, the Yankees definitely interested in shortstop Carlos Correa. He's from the Astros, and we don't like him that much, but we really need a player there who can take us to the next level, and Correa is that guy. There's also a big decision to be made at first base. There's a lot of different moves that can go down. The Yankees are pursuing a free agent first baseman from the champion Braves, Freddie Freeman. That would be a big deal. We'll see. That's very much up in the air right now. Then you have, do the Yankees try to trade for Matt Olson, who hit 39 home runs last year with the Oakland A's? He would definitely be a bit of an upgrade. No offense to Anthony Rizzo and Luke Voigt at first base. They're two pretty good hitters, but these guys played a little bit better last year. So those are, I would say, Correa at shortstop, and then Freeman as a free agent at first, and then a trade for Matt Olson would be the big deals for the Yankees.
I know Correa, he's ready to play now, but who I am rooting for to become the eventual shortstop of the Yankees is Anthony Volpe, the Yankees' first-round draft pick from a few seasons ago, one of the hot shots in their minor league system, Jersey boy. So that's who I'm rooting for.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. He's got a lot of potential. But, the Yankees are sort of a win-now team, and we can't really wait, 2 or 3 seasons for him to come into his own. So, it would be good if he can get up sooner than later. That's great.
Yeah, it would be great for a lot of people all around. Anthony Paradiso, Tony Paradise, thank you so much.
Thanks, Lisa Marie and Kara. Take care.
Have a great weekend.
All right. You too.
All right, let's bring in our other favorite guy, meteorologist Mike Favetta, who we are very jealous of this week because he is down at Wyndham Lake Buena Vista right near Disney Springs in Florida. It's warm and windy, and he's standing by a beautiful pool. And we're
Standing
cold
by
and our
beautiful
allergies
pool.
are bothering us.
I mean, there should be a tissue box on this set right now
We're
because we're
dying.
Well, I had an allergy issue here yet, which is some nice news. So that's another reason maybe to come down, right? Ditch the snow and rain on the way coming to New Jersey tomorrow. Ditch the cold that's coming on Sunday. It's actually going to be 39 degrees here on Sunday morning. I know to cry for me, but it's going to be a very pleasant week for New Jersey starting Monday because we've got a warm up ahead. I'll tell you that with the 7-day forecast, plenty of sunshine ahead that comes in. Beginning Sunday, it's chilly, but we warm up quickly into the 50s by Monday, near 60 on Tuesday. And you know what? I have a feeling we could make a run for the 70s at some point later next week as it gets quite mild before cooling off a little bit into next weekend. So a nice dry patch and quiet weather coming up after we had, as Kara says, Pazzo Marzo, going from the 70 and sunny one day to the accumulating snow the next. I think we're done with that for now. There's still a little bit of a seesaw coming over the next few days, but We've got some pleasant weather ahead for New Jersey for March. And again, here in Orlando, back in the upper 80s and humid, but we like that. So we'll start planning our next year's NJ Morning Show trip today, as we have already begun the itinerary.
Yeah, if you weren't holding all that gear, I would tell the owner to go push you in that pool. It's just unacceptable. Meteorologist Mike Favetta, thank you very much. You have yourself a wonderful weekend down there in Florida.
Thank you, you too.
As many parents know, a car seat becomes a jack of all trades for a playroom, a bedroom, a kitchen, and everything under the sun. One busy New Jersey mom came up with a convenient solution to keep your kids and their car seat germ-free. Joining us is Lauren Sinclair, founder of Buckle Bath. Lauren, so nice to see you this morning.
Good morning, ladies. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for having me on your NJ Morning Show.
We're happy to have you. So, Kara, Lauren came to my house on Monday, and we're going to play a video of what the whole process looked like as we talk here, and cleaned Liana's car seat.
I had to, when you posted this, I was like, what is this? And then when I saw what it was, I was like, oh, that really is a good idea.
It's a genius idea. It's like a manicure for your baby's car seat. I didn't know that you could dismantle it and clean, and luckily we haven't had any accidents. And it was in pretty good shape, but it was in perfect condition, and thanks to Lauren. So tell us all about Buckle Bath.
Absolutely. So we cater to busy parents and grandparents and caretakers who just, quite frankly, don't have time to clean their children's car seats. So I created the business based on those three pillars. So first, convenience, right? So you could easily book your appointment on bucklebath.com. Just as you experienced on Monday, the adorable pink van shows up in your driveway. And if you're on a call for work or making dinner or busy inside, you just have to unlock your car and the team can get started. And the third is just high quality service. As you were able to witness firsthand, we go above and beyond to make sure that every single nook and cranny is absolutely clean and it looks sparkling like you just shared with everybody.
It's you know what, and it's funny. So I'm not a parent yet myself, but I have been in the cars of people who have children, and those car seats can be a little gross on occasion. Because I mean, especially I think maybe as I get older, because I feel it's like there's Cheerios and Juicy Juice and all kinds of stuff kind of packed in there. Have you seen more parents cleaning car seats like since COVID started? And at first we weren't sure if it was on surfaces and things like that.
So you make a great point. So it's not just about what you can actually see as it relates to the crumbs and the Cheerios. It's actually the bacteria. So there are a couple studies that you guys can see online that say that toddler car seats have more germs than a toilet, which is extremely gross, right? So germs, even if you are a parent that does not allow your child to eat in the car seat, are hidden and you can't actually see them. So to answer your question, since COVID, yes, we've seen a huge spike in the number of car seats that we're cleaning, but more than that, just as far as us expanding. So we started in my backyard, which is Madison, New Jersey. Phenomenal community, really took to the idea, a lot of support. And before you knew it, we were expanding to other towns. And now we're at the point where we've proven out the concept and we're franchising. So we have a woman in New York City. Her name is Carrington. She's wonderful. And she's my partner in running the business in New York City. Next month, we hope to have a woman in the Bronx up and running. And we're actively talking to people who are really excited to bring Buckle Bath to their towns all across the country. And that is what we hope to do in terms of empowering others to open a business that has a phenomenal reputation and is trusted by parents all over.
I love it. You know what they found in my car seat, which they thought was funny?
What?
Sand.
That sounds about right. Sounds about
right. We normally don't see sand in these, but we went to the beach so much in the summer.
I know you did.
And I have the type where you put the seat on the carriage and I would drag it through the sand. So that was fun. Better than poopy. Anyway.
Well, we do see that.
Parenthood.
Yeah, I know you do see a lot of that, I'm sure.
There's nothing, honestly, there's nothing that we haven't seen. And it's amazing and it's fun for us, right? Because it's a new challenge.
Yep.
And it's something else that we can get really good at cleaning and sanitizing. And we use all natural products. So we follow car seat manufacturer guidelines to ensure that every car seat that's cleaned is done in a way that would be approved by the manufacturers. We also do strollers, and strollers we see, especially in New York City, all throughout the year. And we on occasion get a request for a high chair or a pack and play or something out of the ordinary that does get messy. And we are happy to help when we can.
I love that. Lauren, what a great concept. Just really quickly, where
Thank
can our
you.
viewers find you if they want to book you?
Yes, please go to www.bucklebath.com and you can make an appointment on the website. You can also email us if you don't have time to book online, and we can help you with an appointment. Clean, CLEAN, at bucklebath.com. Or you can find us on Instagram at bucklebathclean.
Awesome. Lauren, thank you so much. What a great idea. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, I'll be calling
Thank
you again
you.
soon.
Excellent.
Have
Take
yourself a
care.
great weekend.
Thank you.
So before we wrap up here on the New Jersey Morning Show, we just want to thank Priya Vermani for styling us today with these beautiful frocks from Jules Closet in Warren, New Jersey. Thank you so much. And I personally have to shout out a bunch of small businesses who helped me pull together my daughter's first birthday party this past Saturday. So cute. We had it at Seasons 52 in Parsippany. We did a whole peach glam theme. Perfectly Paired Events. They put the whole decor together, so we have to thank them. Gabagool Cakes, Gabby Natoli, Kara's friend, put together an amazing two-tier cake. The top was gluten-free for all my gluten-free family members. The bottom was this chocolate goodness. Unbelievable detailing. Dip and Drizzle out of East Hanover put together the cute peach-looking favors.
This whole party was adorable. I saw the picture, and I mean, and everything matched perfectly for all those different people to be involved. Everything just was, it was beautiful.
Yeah, so I really need to shout everybody out. Thank you so much for making the time such a beautiful occasion. My daughter loved it. I mean, for one, I mean, she didn't really know what was going on.
It was for you, let's be honest.
But you know something? She stayed up that night till 10 to open her gifts. My daughter. She looks like Joe, but she's my daughter.
No, but I think she looks like you too. She does look like Joe, but she does look like you. But a child's first birthday party is for the parents to say, look, we kept it alive a whole year.
We kept alive and we kept this little being alive. Absolutely.
Exactly. So it's congratulations to you and Joe. That's what a first birthday party is for. And thank you all for tuning in and watching us and joining us on this Friday and every Friday morning. We will be back live with you next Friday morning at 9 a.m. NJ Morning Show. And in the meantime, follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NJ Morning Show. We'll keep you updated who's coming up next week and all the other good stuff we got going on. We'll see you guys next Friday.